The heart behind Arise, at least what God has given us, is we want to see a lot of people come to Jesus. And we want to see God move. I want to see him in power. And I know there's many in Wales who cry out for revival.
He can do anything he wants to. Anything. And the best part about Arise is that we're just the vessels. We're just obedient for what God has given us. So he's going to work in Arise.
So my prayer for Arise 2022 is I really want to see an outpouring of revival in this land. And I really believe it's going to be a turning point for here in this nation, but also it'll affect the nations of the world.
We watched 19,000 pounds come in to buy the tent, 23 meters by 35 meters. God doesn't give you something for no reason. I tremble to think about what's going to happen at this Rise.
It's been fantastic. The amount of work that was needed to get all the marquees up, get everything up. We had a group come in from Chicago that just came in to serve. If they hadn't been here, this one behind me wouldn't have gone up the way it has. And so we're just amazed at watching what God has done. But there's a real anticipation in the spirit. And the worship this morning, there's a progressive, there's an anticipation in the air. And the word, we're going through Hebrews in the morning. We're seeing those things. Last night we saw people healed and set free. Yeah, the ball's rolling and it's going to be picking up speed. So just amazed, really.
I believe that God is calling Wales to be very, very aware of not just what they carried in the past, but that God is shaking the ground and uprooting some of the things that have held her captive for the last years. And this goes for the United Kingdom, the British Isles as well, but particularly in Wales, there is such a deep well of righteousness that's been locked up for ages and ages and ages. And God is a jealous God. And he's coming, he's shaking the ground, he's pulling up roots, bitter roots. He's cleansing her heart. He's cleansing the core because he's bringing new breath, new life into situations here, and he's going to transform the nation as this happens.
Do you know what? I guess if there's one thing God is speaking, he's saying, come to me. Come to me, be intimate with me. Let me just say this, people get saved. They get saved in our church and we're all excited they made that decision. Maybe they said a prayer, it's not magic, it's just a tool to get you connected to God. Maybe they've done that and we're excited about the church's filling, but it's not about that. It's about intimacy with God, and when you're intimate with him, you love people. And God is saying, represent me with who I really am. I love people. That's why I want them saved, healed and set free. So I guess, that's what I feel God is saying right now.
I feel as though many people and this nation has been listening to lies for so long, for too long, listening to the wrong voices. And it's almost like I saw this picture of a mouse with a megaphone blaring lies at this nation in terms of who she is not, but the nation believing that that's who she is. And what we need to do is to get that megaphone out of that mouse's hand and hear the Lion of Judah roar, because it's his roar that will stand. It's his roar that is going to come with truth, because he alone holds the words to eternal life. And it's that roar that is going to wake up Wales. I still think, wakey, wakey Wales. Wakey, wakey Cymru fach.
The greatest takeaway from this year's Arise, sometimes we want to stay where we're at because it's comfortable. And I believe that God has made us uncomfortable and dissatisfied, and we're not happy anymore with the way it has been.
The biggest takeaway for me personally was when I would turn up in the morning and then I would see crutches or walking sticks just left on the platform. You can't even think or imagine that's God.
And I think God's been preparing a lot, allowing things to die, where sometimes our traditions, sometimes our histories, our even pride from what has been, and it has to go so that He's our central joy. It's wonderful to look back, and we need to be reminded of what God has done, but we can't live there. We can't be happy with an event. We have to be only satisfied in Him.